I had enough of this Marmor's farce, you lot. Teach them a lesson. AKA, let me kick your butts. You might get a little toasty, you know, with my fire skills. Well, I realized in the last video that I didn't actually show you guys some of the prizes for this, but since I'm here and this just topped up, I am going to do this first. Think you have what it takes to hop, skip, and jump your way to victory? Then step right up and try your luck at the leap of faith. And if you're feeling especially daring, we've placed several trophies throughout the course. Reach them before you clear the finish line, and your reward will be that much greater. And then explains when you're in a party, everybody has to be in the gold saucer to actually do this. So you can actually do this with a party. So this is one of the newer gates that the gold saucer has, and it's actually my favorite one. And I'm going... Okay, there's gilded cactars, there's one of those, silver cactars, there's 3 of those, and bronze cactars, there's 6 of those. So 6, 3, and 1 for a total of 10, if one's math works. Anyway, so I'm going to turn off the UI just because I find jumping is easier. And this will be the first time that I'm doing this as a tank because I usually go with my marauder. Not marauder. Boy, am I backwards. I usually go with my ninja as this. So this feels very slow for me. Hopefully I do okay. But this is my favorite gate, and it is also one that is really good for getting MGP. It is one of the longer ones because it does take some time, especially if you have some difficulty with jumping. But because I like this one so much, even as frustrating as it can be, I'm okay with the time that it takes. I prefer this one than the dancing one because the dancing one is basically a Simon Says type thing where you have to remember the order and figure out the actual actions that are used. And that'll make more sense if you ever do that one. Time of My Life, I think, is the gate title. So here you can jump over, and this would technically finish the gate. You can either leave or just let the time run out. Even if you don't have... Oops. Even if you don't have all the trophies yet, you can still go get them even after having reached that point. So if you ever struggle in a gate, in the Leap of Faith gate, I would suggest trying to get to that first because then you've technically finished the gate. The trophies are just for basically extra MGP and such. That was sad. And sorry if I move the camera quickly. I have pretty fast reflexes, so I end up moving the camera faster, and I realized that when I was doing my testing videos because I was... Oh, that was sad. I was doing this gate as for testing and such, so... And then after this, I will show you some of the prizes at the Gold Saucer that you can get. Or, well, I'll show them as best as I can. And, I'll just have a brief overview of them, really. And then after that, I will continue on with the main story quest. And I believe that's it. And yeah, 6, 3, and 1. So I'm just, as you see, I got the achievement here, as that was my first time completing this with all of the trophies. So I'm just gonna right click and leave the attraction. And I also got a reward or achievement as enemy of the gate, and I believe that's just for having completed a gate. Yeah, it's been so long since I've got those achievements, I'm not even actually sure what they are anymore. Okay. And, well, this one runs until 4:50 or 4:50 local time, so it won't actually be able to talk to a gatekeeper until then to see what the next gate will be. So prizes that can be won are over here, and prize claim. So there's prize exchange 1, and these I'm assuming were the original ones. So there's a bunch of different, most of these are just vanity, so you're kind of glamours, as you will learn later on once we get to that. So they're not actually for like your fighting gear, it's just your aesthetics and whatnot. So glamour or vanity, however you want to look at it. Unfortunately, there's some restrictions, so here this fits all females, won't work on males. Or do I have that backwards there? Yes, this one will only fit on males, this one will only fit on females. So if you have a male class, you won't be able to actually try on those other ones. And then there's no accessories, but here there's some dances, emotes. Well, in this case this is a dance. And this is also a dance. Obviously you can see the cost, these are all MGP. Then there's modern aesthetics. Then there's some minions. And then down here we have some mounts. This is a Admontois whistle, a Fenrir horn, Archon throne, Poker, Colossus horn, Gambler barding, and then Mandervillian barding. And then if you go to prize exchange 2, you'll see some more gear, vanity type stuff. And none of those. Then this is another emote, and then here's another mount, and then some of these are for housing. And then orchestrion roles and stuff like that. And then there's this one here, which I think is also different. Yes. So there's a ton of stuff that you can get here. The only ones I've gone for really are the mounts, and then because those cost a lot, those are the most expensive. And then I have also, I think I have some of the emotes, and then I'm going to be saving for the orchestrion roles, provided that there isn't any other way to get them in the game, because if there is, then I'll save the MGP for something else. So anyway, that's a bit of an overview of the prizes that you can get. My favorite one is actually a couple of them, mostly the mounts. As I said, that's mostly what I have, either the Fenrir or this one here. And unfortunately I can't actually show you what they are unless I go to my main character who already has them. In fact, I'm about 20,000 MGP away from getting the last mount that I need, and that's a Typhoon one. So I am just going to return to the Bent Branch Willows, so that's in Gridania, and we'll continue on with the story quest, because we will be getting into another dungeon soon. And then there's a dungeon shortly after that. But since we're here, I will also finish that quest for within the... Oops. Apparently I still had a levy quest, because I was working on leveling. I did not want to go this way. I was working on leveling up the rogue and was actually hoping to have it to play today, but I ran out of potions, so then I was in the midst of trying to level up, well, not level up, but I was collecting the material for crafting more potions, but then I ran out of time. I needed the alchemist to be level 12, and that was quite a ways away, so I wasn't going to force that, and so I said I would just hopefully make do without that for now. Let's see. I could always go as Arcanist, I believe. Let's see. Oops, not that one. I want this. What do I need? I need a level 15. So I could actually go as Arcanist because then I can at least heal myself. So I might do that. But we'll stick with Gladiator for now. Another one for the races, eh? Welcome! Welcome! Once you've made your decision, I'll prepare the registration form you'll need to take back to the race counter. Lest you worry, our Chocobo's all quality stock. They might not seem like much at first, but young and inexperienced, but give them a chance and they'll win you a championship. And then additional fledgling Chocobo registration forms can be purchased from the Feather Trader at any time. Which is nice to know because I was wondering about that in my main character. And so we can choose here a fledgling Chocobo registration G1M. Or we can choose fledgling Chocobo registration G1F. So in this case, I think M is for male and the other is for female. Yeah, we'll just go for male there. Fledgling and race Chocobos. And I'll just let you guys read that stuff. And obviously you can see there's another quest here. Casting a curious glance in your direction, Catering is posed to ask you a question. You're still here? I reckoned you'd have run off by now, being eager to try your hand at the races and whatnot. Well, in case you've forgotten, I'll reiterate, you need to deliver that form to the race counter in the gold saucer. Only then will you be allowed to enter sanctioned Chocobo races. And obviously there's that there. And we will leave these quests for later. We will head into Gridania to do that quest. And where's the Chocobo porter? Over there. Chocobo porter. Gridania. Yes. Because I don't feel like running and I don't feel like teleporting because it just seems like a waste. So we'll just zoom in and enjoy this. As it stutters a little bit. And no, those are not friendly scorpion-like things. And there we are in Gridania, so now I just need to head on over to talk to Mirian, I believe it is. My own... Mioin? I don't know, they have such weird names. And instead of butchering their name, I'll just move on. Take a seat wherever you like, friend. Our waitress will come to take your... Oh, not here to dine? Dare I hope that you're the adventurer Badurn sent word about? You are? The matron be praised! Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Mioun, and the Carline Canopy is my place. With regard to the task in question, there is a fair bit to tell. Let me know when you're ready to hear the details and I shall brief you. Tell me now. Oh. And I just noticed that I just got high potions, so... Oh well. And as you can see also I changed the inventory, and so you can actually change that in the character configuration here under item settings. And then inventory interface. Before it was normal. So you can see it's just like this. And then expanded is with 2 slots. And then open all is how it was just a moment ago. And I decided to do this because I was moving them around, all the inventory around quite a bit, and it was very irritating trying to click through all the different tabs instead, so I opted for this. It's much easier to deal with. Anyway, Brother Mune. Mune is waiting to brief you on your task. Ready for that briefing? Good. Now then, here's the long and short of it. Beg pardons for interrupting, Mune, but our need grows ever more pressing. Have none stepped forward? Good more to you, Bowlord. Your need must be pressing indeed for you to honor us with a visit. The good news is, your journey hasn't been wasted. I'm pleased to report that we have a volunteer at last, and one who comes highly recommended at that. My thanks for answering the call, friend. My name is Lewin, and I lead the men and women of the Gods' Quiver. Now time is of the essence, so I shall proceed directly to the heart of the matter. We wish for you to nip a potential threat to Gridania in the bud. Beneath the central shroud there lies an underground burial site called Tam-Terra Deepcroft. The place was once a Gelmorian settlement, but we Gridanians have long interred our dead there. Of late, however, shadowy figures have been seen skulking around the Deepcroft, and with ever-increasing regularity. Based on the accounts of various witnesses, we suspect that these individuals belong to the Lambs of Dalamud, a doomsday cult which sprung up prior to the calamity. These zealots have proven themselves dangerous in the past, and we leave them to their own devices at our peril. Ordinarily, I would have dispatched my best men to scour the Deepcroft with orders to flush the cultists out. Alas, the calamity decimated our ranks, and the limited forces at my disposal are constantly required to keep the XIV at bay. The birdmen have grown restless of late, and I fear a storm may be brewing. In anticipation of this, I have been compelled to spread our forces throughout the Twelveswood, lest we be taken unawares. The situation so being, we must turn to others to deal with the Lambs of Dalamud. Can we rely on you to undertake this task, friend? You have my gratitude. Once you've seen to your preparations, pray make your way to the Deepcroft and identify yourself to the guard posted at the entrance. He will apprise you of the latest developments. That is all. Be careful out there, you hear? May the crystal guide you and keep you. And so we need to go to Center Shroud, so we will just teleport there. I was hoping to not have to waste some gil. And we will do these side quests some other time. I got myself stuck. So we need to go down over here where there's also a fate, as it were. And I think we have to go this way. Do we need to go? Nope. I don't think we need to go up. Pretty sure. Yeah, it's down this way. And of course there's like some quests that actually can be done for around here. So I believe you need to kill these roselets for some of the side quests and the dire mites that are over here. And we need to go down here. And I sneakily sneaked. And we see these adventurers again. Amusing. Shall we talk to these two again since we did before? Childish curiosity prompted me to commit the most elementary of blunders. Were it not for the fruit of alien found, my adventures may well have ended in this forbidding place. Always look before you leap, and In my haste, this most fundamental rule of adventuring slipped my mind. I do believe I shall rest here a while. I shudder to think what might have happened to Isildur had I not thought to pick the fruit I stumbled across on the way here. Sometimes he has too much vigor for his own good. Age is supposed to mellow us, but if anything, it has made him more impetuous. I understand his desire to make use of the time left to him, but one misstep and there won't be any. And we won't talk to them. So here will be a nice time to be rogue. Oops. I didn't want that. I wanted this. Where I can hopefully sneak my way over this way and avoid them. And I think we'll go as Arcanist, if we can. You're celebrating whatever, I take it. Thanks for helping us out, friend. No doubt the Bowlord has already informed you, but your task is to enter the Deepcroft and purge it of the Lambs of Dalamud. In case you're unfamiliar with them, the cult emerged shortly before the Calamity put an end to the 6th Astral Era. The cultists took the lesser moon Dalamud for their god, believing that it would deliver them from the devastation. And so they were rather disappointed when Dalamud exploded into 1,000 flaming pieces before it could complete its descent. Now, I have seen their god turn to ash. One would think that the cultists might feel moved to question their faith. On the contrary, it served only to stoke the flames of their fanaticism. The Lambs of Dalamud are convinced that heretics, that is to say, everyone but them, interfered with the coming of their Lord and Savior, and that it's now their sacred duty to avenge him. Whatever it is they're doing in the Deepcroft, you may be sure that no good will come of it. For the sake of Gridania and Eorzea at large, put an end to their madness. There we go. And I have my free company mates helping again. And of course, Rhiannon decides to pull. And he just probably did that so that I actually say something about it. Right? Right? And of course, my skills are being hidden by the hidden by the microphone. Normally speaking, if you don't have party mates who don't know what they're doing, they won't be pulling dungeons like this. And especially as a tank, hint hint, Rihanna's, you should be asking the healer if it's okay to do so. Don't assume your healer is capable. Always ask. Just a common courtesy type thing. Likewise, your healer, don't assume your tank will do that. Normally when I tank, I don't. Mostly because I don't like the higher ends, and sometimes the tank or the healers are very slow at healing and gets me a little testy and aggravated, so that's just a personal thing rather than a actual healer thing. And one more. Maybe. Not more than that. There's a lot of turns and twists in this one. I should probably not do what I was doing and just use one skill. And this is the skill I was mentioning before. Diversion is very handy. Reduces enmity generation. after this, there's one more little fight, and then we have the boss, or the main boss fight. So there's kind of usually 2 mini bosses. And then there's the final boss, so you have 3 bosses that you fight in each dungeon. My cat, Kelly, just made an appearance. Who summons me from the void to recite something, 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 something. I didn't spot it fast enough. I was looking down at my cat. And you see there's the achievement for finishing the map. A lot of the early maps have different paths that you could take, so it's a little bit more tricky to finish the maps unless you ask, basically. A lot of the other ones Rihanna, you're not supposed to do that! A lot of these lower dungeons have the multi-paths, a lot of the higher dungeons do not. I call those the Harry Potter glasses because they're round and stuff. Do I need these? Let's see, item comparison. They are literally the same, so don't really care. And now we need to go talk to Ian, so we'll just teleport there. And yeah. Welcome back, Solarian. I'm reliably informed that your foray into the Deepcroft was a success. Nor did I expect anything less. Butteran's ringing endorsement left me in little doubts as to your capabilities. Even so, you are to be commended. Lord Lewin asked to pass on his thanks. I must say it is something of a relief to be able to call upon such a capable adventurer. Sadly, death has become an ever more common occurrence within our fraternity of late. Times being what they are, the guild is constantly inundated with petitions, and we are hard-pressed to find enough hands to deal with them all. While this means no shortage of work for able souls such as yourself, it also provides ample opportunity for the inexperienced to overreach themselves, with predictable consequences. As if to illustrate the point, Avery's gone, and it's all your fault. If it hadn't taken you an age to heal him, he would still be alive. But I tried. He bolted out of range before I could finish the spell. He shouldn't have been so hard-pressed in the first place. We should have done more to lighten his burden. Bah! To the house with his pathetic excuse for a party. I'm leaving! It'd be too soon if I never see your faces again. Goodbye and good riddance. I'm leaving as well. I doubt this comes as any surprise, but I never liked you. I only suffered you for your healing, but you couldn't even do one thing right. Cruel though this may sound, you brought this upon yourself. Oh, and by the way, of some parting advice, get rid of Avery's head, bury it, cremate it, do whatever the hell you like with it. But for gosh sake, stop carrying it around. It's just get rid of it, alright? Yeah, that's kind of creepy. But wait, don't leave me alone, please. I'm so sorry, Avery. Please forgive me. And those were the people you saw outside of the dungeon. That's kind of why I didn't talk to them. Scenes like this have become all too common. That makes 12 times in half as many days. Now you see why I'm grateful for adventurers of your experience. I can send women like you on a mission without worrying that you might not return. Well, not so much at any rate. Speaking of missions, I would entrust you with another. About a bell ago, I received a message from my counterpart in Ul'dah. She seeks the services of a reliable adventurer, and you are nothing if not reliable. If you think you might be interested in the task, say the word, and I will be glad to share the details with you. And we will pick those, because... Actually, hold up. Yeah, we'll go with that. Doesn't really matter, but... appearance-wise, I think I like those ones better. So I'm just gonna see if I can equip those. I can. So there's that. There. And Moon. Moon has information on a new task. So, you're not averse to taking a little trip. Wonderful! As I mentioned earlier, the request comes to us from the Adventurers Guild in Ul'dah. Once you arrive, seek out Momody, the proprietress of the Quicksand. Think of her as the Sultanat's version of myself. Yes, we're well acquainted with Momody. Chances are she'll send you into the midst of danger, but I have every confidence that you will pull through unscathed. Now off you go, Celebrian, and good luck! So we will make our way to Thanalan. And of course I have another class quest. Actually, I think I have 2 of them now that I haven't done. Whoops. Hopefully I will get to that maybe tonight. Hopefully. I don't know. I am hoping to get the other classes I run past Momody. Other classes to level 15 or whatever the story quest is at. Welcome to the Quicksand, friend. I'm a tad busy right now. If you wouldn't mind showing yourself to... Oh, It's you, Celebrian. And there I was, spouting the same tired line. You even sent word that you'd be reporting for duty. She also made a point of calling you the adventurer of the moment. That ain't no small praise coming from her. But you didn't come all the way here to listen to me prattle. Doubtless you're eager to get started, so let's talk business, shall we? Yes, please. And can I equip that? I didn't think so. Nobody is waiting to brief you on your task. The petitioner ought to be arriving any moment now. Another second under the sun I would have been set afire. A tankard of ale, if you would be so kind. Excellent timing, Papachon. It just so happens the adventurer who will be handling your petition is here. Oh? Why, if it isn't my good friend Celebrian. It does my spirit well to know that you're the one who will be helping us. Mayhap you'd like to apprise Celebrian of her mission. Yes, of course. The petition in question was submitted by an acquaintance of mine at Amagina and Sons Mineral Concern. It relates to an unfortunate development at Copperbell Mines. To be plain, giants have seized control of the place. These giants are of the clan known as the Cherries? I have no idea. Fearsome creatures who were sealed within the deepest depths of the mine during the bygone Thorn Dynasty. Alas, it seems they have managed to break through the layer of rock which served to imprison them, and now prowl the tunnels where the miners ply their trade. The creatures are justifiably angry about their treatment at the hands of our ancestors, and their presence has forced the suspension of all mining activities on the site, which we kinda knew already with some of the side quests. It's no wonder they're angry. Didn't the Thorn Dynasty come to an end over 300 years ago? You know your history well, milady. The people of the age used hecatoncarides to work their mines by way of enchanted helms. They were able to bind the ferocious creatures to their will, but as is oft the way in such tales, these enchantments eventually failed, and the slaves rose up against their masters. In a desperate bid to contain the unbridled fury of the Hecaton guys, our ancestors induced the collapse of the mines' lowermost levels, so it was the great giant revolt was ended, buried beneath. So it was that the great giant revolt was ended, buried beneath 100,000 tons of rock. Well now, that's got me thinking. I seem to recall there being an article about Copperbell in the Mithril Eye a fortnight or so ago. It said the mines were being reopened so as to meet the rise in demand for building materials. Like as not, our boys dug a bit too deep and freed the giants. To think the poor creatures are still alive and kicking after 3 centuries. That's a long time to nurse a grudge. They must be seething. Indeed, and that makes them a danger to us all. There will be no mining at Copperbell so long as they remain. For the sake of both peace and prosperity, they must be subdued. This is the task which we would have you undertake. I'm not denying that the mission will be rife with danger, but our need is great and so I beg you, put an end to this sorry business. Nope, I'll just let you rant. Ah, bless you. I feared you might have reservations, but I assure you it is for the best. In case you don't know, Copperbell Mines are in Western Thanalan. Do take care, you hear? Ah, and one last thing before you depart. An employee of Amagina and Sons is presently at the quicksand. The fellow's name is Painted Mesa, and he knows Copperbell Mines well. It might behoove you to seek his counsel. And, oh, he's right behind us. I wasn't expecting him that close. Looking for the Painted Mesa, you found him. So you're the adventurer who's volunteered to deal with the mess down in Copperbell, are ya? You've got guts, miss. I just hope you've got skill to go with them. 'Cause things ain't pretty down there. The Hecton guys left the place in the right state, nary a week after mining resumed. I don't know if you know this, but Copperbell was old when the Second Ool Dynasty was still young, and it was abandoned centuries ago. If it hadn't been for the shortage of materials needed for the rebuilding effort, the concern would never have thought to reopen it. We knew full well about the giants beforehand, but the project went ahead anyway. I mean, nothing could possibly survive being buried under a mountain's worth of rock for 3 centuries, right? Wrong! Our miners dug up more than they bargained for. One swing of the pickaxe too many, and they found themselves in the company of giants. Unless we can subdue them, the nation's glorious recovery grind to a halt for want of aught to build with. The stone torches are keeping watch over the entrance in case the giants fancy some sunlight and fresh air. One of them will be able to show you the way in. The hope of the nation's resting on you, friend. Best of luck. And now to Western Thanalan, over this way. And I'm just going to teleport again because it's faster. And we need to go this way. Over this way. And as we did the side quests over here, we kind of had an idea that there was something afoot, hence why we had to collect the gear, or not gear, tools or whatever it was, and remaining material for those 2 people there. So we need to talk to Stone Torch there. And as you can see, these guys are here again. Hello again. I have been an adventurer for long years and borne witness to many a pivotal moment in history. Though the times may have changed, the essence of our trade has not. Adventuring has ever been a quest for self-betterment through challenges freely faced, and ever shall it remain so. As an adventurer becomes more experienced, he will naturally acquire a love of justice and an understanding of the spirit of self-sacrifice. Such experiences cannot be measured in any tangible way, yet it most assuredly shapes who we are, grounded as it is in the decisions we have made on our journey and their consequences, good or ill. I sense a light within you, young one, and it tells me that you are destined for greatness. We found Dolores Bear and his entire party dead. The giants were thorough in their work. Judging by their tracks, it would seem they tried to rush a horde of the creatures. I cannot say for sure what drove on an experienced crew like theirs to throw caution to the wind, but I do have my suspicions. We are all our own worst critics, and our desire to better past achievements can rob us of good sense. Thus do we become more given to recklessness. And now my cat, Yuki, made an appearance. While it is important to have goals, one must not fixate upon them to the exclusion of all else. Do so and one will surely pay the price, as Dolores Bear and his comrades did this day. And as you can see, the other little party that was once there was not there because their tank had died and the party disbanded. There's been an incident inside Copperbell Mines. We're here to ensure that There's been an incident inside Copperbell Mines. We are here to ensure that its effects are contained, but for your own safety, I suggest you stay well away from here. What? You're the adventurer who's volunteered to quell the Hekton guys? I didn't think the Popshun would be able to find someone so quickly, if at all. The giants are content to wreak havoc inside the mines for now, but it's only a matter of time before they think to come inside. The sooner you see to them, the better. Make ready as best as you can, and enter at will. So in this one, in the elevators, I tend to dance, kind of like your entertainment, unlike elevator music, but I don't actually have the dance in for this character because I haven't gotten to those quests yet, and it'll be quite some time before those quests pop up. I'm kind of hoping that I'll find some sort of platform to put my monitor on, because trying to look around this microphone to make sure I can see my MP is a little challenging. So yeah, in this one there's a lot of interaction, so there was key there, and then we can kind of demonstrate some of the other stuff. So here I would do my first dance, so I'll just do this dance. Because I can't do much else. And unfortunately, for whatever reason, these stutter when you're on the elevator. Not entirely sure why. It should actually be smooth. I'm not, and given how old this particular dungeon is, I'm not sure why it hasn't been fixed, or if it's possibly to fix, or if Square Enix just doesn't care, because really it's just a minor detail anyway. It's not that big of a deal. But it, personally bugs my eyes, which is kind of why I dance, because I can focus on that rather than anything else. But oh well. And Tab was not my friend there. Started attacking the wrong thing. Oops. I'm just gonna sneak in here. If I can. Nope. Oh. There, I cleared it. Typo. That's usually what I do. So if you're hearing this random clicking right now while I'm not talking, it's my mouse. I have a Razer Naga Trinity? Whatever. Razer... Oh, yeah, it is Naga Trinity. Anyway, it's good for MMOs because there's the 12 buttons on it. Otherwise, I could just use my keyboard, and I have the keys Control, Alt, and Shift and stuff, but I find it's much better just to use Control, Shift, and Alt, and then whatever numbers on itself, unless, of course, I am taking a break from my mouse usage and just use my left hand for the keyboard. But anyway. So if you hear clicking, that's why. And there he goes pulling again. Tisk, tisk, tisk. If he dies, it's his fault. It will not be, apologies, I do not know how to say your name. Butcher? It's not the healer's fault. That looks like we're good. And of course he's going to the fire sand instead of just letting one of the DPS do that. Okay. It's okay. It just means we have to wait a little bit. And after this should be another key, I think. Or another fire sand. No, not fire sand. Fire sand is from the firebomb thingy things. Oops. Wasn't watching my MP. And I guess I just realized that I could actually be looking up there instead of just looking down there. Oh well. So there's a blasting device and we actually need the fire sand that's up there. And then we need it placed and then we use this and then it blows up this wall. And then we have the first boss area. And there's no real way to tank in this because the ads are, well, random and stuff. And then there's from up there, and then over there, and then over there, and then up there, and then kind of all over the place at this point. And unfortunately, because I'm a caster, there's really only one skill I can use quickly, and that's that one right there. And there's the flame view up there. Should be more of these guys. And then after that one should be that one up there. Kotos. And over here. And then there's a treasure chest just around the corner. Oftentimes missed. Just happened to notice it when I was panning back at one point. And here's another elevator, so I get to do my dance again. Or I would if it worked, but it didn't, so... And this is going to end up coming back over this way. Because Ryanus does that every single time. Sorry, Ryanus, whatever. I don't normally do what I did, but because he tried to pull that one in there, that messed up the order for the rest of them, so yes, I'm nagging at you. You have to kill that first one first, and then go into the side chambers, because you can't pull them. In these small dungeons, you don't normally have people pulling because they're not capable of doing that because either of gear or lack of skills. And I don't mean their lack of player skills, I mean the lack of character skills within the game itself. And there's another fire sand, and then over here is the boss, and to make things easy, and I didn't know this when I first did this, is you let your tank take that, you let your tank take this, you do not kill the fire blasting cap, you just let them go and do their thing. There'll be an ad over here occasionally. And you let the tank do that, let the blasting cap blow up beside the Icarus Ire, make sure you avoid that. And then you see it's split into two, then you do the same thing again once this is available to actually use. And then you do it another time after that, and I think that's the last one. So basically do that 3 times. So that was number 1, and this should be number 2, and there'll be one more time after that. And should be one more, so you see there's 4 now, and then there'll be 8, and then they'll be super easy to kill. So when I first did this, I didn't know to actually split them apart. Nobody in my party happened to know either, so we just fought the big slime thing, and we took a long time. So now we just wait for this. And there we go. You see they're super easy to kill. And then there's another fire sand here. Sometimes a lot of people forget that. And it always spawns in the same place. And apparently I have one of those already. And then there we go. And then this one has a bit of a different path. I'll show you once I get it. And for whatever reason they targeted me. I didn't even do anything. Not far enough on the map to see that yet. Still not far enough. Bye, Callie. And here you see there's math you can do. There's different paths. And then there's a chest right around that corner there. Slaves no more. Free! Free! Talk about a looker, eh? So in this one there's going to be ads, technically. You can just ignore them. You can't actually kill them or anything like that. Oh, apparently those weren't better, but oh well. Anyway, and so this guy is actually going to go over there. So as a tank, you might as well just pull him over there, right? Rihanna's never does. But you can pull them over there so that you don't have to let the rest of your party have to reset, because it's guaranteed for him to actually go over that way and he'll hit the boulder, and then the ads will come, and then those ads will attack other boulder walls and so on and so forth. There's no reason to actually attack the ads though, because you can just focus on this. And as you can see, in this dungeon there's a 2 limit bar. I can't actually remember if that was the same with some of the earlier ones. I wasn't paying attention to it. Usually it's your melee DPS that does the limit break, if there is one. Unfortunately we only have ranged DPS right now. But if you have a melee DPS, it's easier to attack one target. If you have multiple targets to hit, it is better for your ranged DPS to do that. And there's other dungeons, really high-end dungeons, where healers use the limit break so that in some cases can revive people, depending on if it's a 3-tier, I believe, limit break. And so you actually have both. You have to have both of these bars actually filled. So if I hit that, oh well, I was too slow. But then there's other ones where your tank uses it. It's really rare for their tank to use it. The limit break, that is. And there we go. And thank you to my free company peoples for helping. Alrighty, so we are done that dungeon now, and we need to talk to Mobity again. So we're just gonna actually teleport there because it's faster. And so here we go. This way. And as you can see, some of the dungeon dialogue is still there. And I was triple triad fighting against Wyman there, and I could not get the card. Oh, wait, I think he has 2 cards, and I was able to get one of the cards, but not the second one, unfortunately. So now oh, well, this is interesting here. We have a fight duty thing. And so here we go with Painted Mesa. Yeah. I wasn't expecting a duty, but I guess maybe this is a cutscene, so I'll shush. Oh, I guess not. Ah, the Conqueror of Copperbell returns. Thanks to you, our mining operations can resume, and Ulda will have the materials she needs to rebuild. The entire nation's in your debt, friend. I'll share the good tidings with Papashan the next time I see him. As for you, you'll want to report to Mobity. It'll do the woman well to see you alive in one piece. See you live and well in one piece. I messed up that sentence. No! Screaming. Shut your mouth, you thieving little swine. You stole from me. Don't even think to deny it. Please, sir. I didn't steal nothing. I bought this place. Paid for it with me own coin. What rot! You refugees are all the same. Couldn't afford maggoty mole meat and what less choice cut of dodo. I'm going to say it one more time. Give back what you stole or it'll make you wish you never set foot in this town. By rights, I should turn you over to brass blades, you know. Help keep the streets safe for law-abiding citizens. But I'm a reasonable man. If you agree to serve me in whatever capacity I require, the authorities needn't hear of your crime. Peg. I forgot to change into my gladiator. But I ain't done nothing wrong. 12 is my witness. And of course everybody else pretends they're not paying attention. Except for us, who will actually help. Please, adventurer, help me. I beg of you. I swear on my mother's grave I didn't steal nothing. I bought this with the coin I'd saved. I only wanted to treat my children to a decent meal. I'd be more confident in our appearance if we didn't have such a shabby shield. And who the hecks are you? Who the hells are you when you're at home? This dog's master? The only dog I see is the one I'm looking at right now. I've had enough of this mummer's farce, you lot. Actually, that's an insult to dogs. A rock, maybe? Anyway, I've had enough of this mummer's farce, you lot. Teach them a lesson. AKA, let me kick your butts. You might get a little toasty, you know, with my fire skills. And blizzard skills and lightning skills. And unfortunately, I don't have like anything like sleep and stuff, so they're gonna come attack me. Woo! Oh, right, they only come one at a time, so that's good. But I belch. I'll take it. Oh, so they're drunk. Gotcha. Or just literally pigs. And as you can see, our health bar is actually regenerating faster than they can actually hurt me. That's amusing. That is actually quite amusing. Oops, I moved. We'll use this. Oh, not bad for an adventure. Okay. So, are you gonna hit me or what? Because, like, even your weapon sucks. Yes, you should have stopped at the 7th ale. Because clearly you're doing the drunk dance of not hurting anything. Kung Fu Master, you are not. Or Drunk Fu Master. Whatever. And you joined in, so we'll use this skill because fire and death. Because then I'm damaging this one too. Like, look at that. They're just dying. Teach them a lesson. Of what? How to tickle me to death? Even they're not even succeeding with that. So I guess my shabby shield is stronger than them. That's kind of sad. And there we go. That said, also, I think that was like a level 16 quest. I'm a level 20 something. Cheer. I ain't getting paid enough for this. Right away, right away. Hey, where the hells do you think you're going? And the crowd is laughing now. Thank you, adventurer. Thank you thrice over. I'd swear there were more refugees than when I last looked. And you wouldn't be mistaken. But it's been 5 years since the calamity. Why are they only coming here now? It's simple, really. While a number of hamlets survived the immediate aftermath of the calamity, many were no longer able to support their communities. The residents found their lands had either been rendered barren or cut off from trade routes, and problems like those aren't easily solved. Though they tried to make the best of it, it was only a matter of time before they were forced to abandon their homes and seek a new life in the city. I see. But the calamity affected the whole realm, didn't it? Is this the same happening in other cities? If the talk is true, yes. Though perhaps our situation is more pronounced, Ul'dah has a reputation for being prosperous, so it's natural that the refugees would try their luck here first. My heart goes out to them. It truly does. But I would be lying if I said that I wasn't apprehensive. I hope their presence doesn't foment lawlessness in the city. Well, if things do take a turn for the worst, we can always have the immortal flames. We always have the immortal flames. I dare say the brass blades would welcome their help. The heroes who fought the Garlean Empire patrolling the streets for riffraff? It may well come to that. Impoverished and desperate as they are, you may be sure that some of the refugees will turn to crime. You know what this place is like, and you've no coin, you've no hope. What will become of our city? Not all refugees are bad, mind you. Some are able to find employment and lead honest lives. Dodo tenderloins, get your dodo tenderloins, guaranteed cheapest in Thanalin. Thank you for your custom, madame. Please come again. Look around. You think that Ul'dah was as well on its way to recovery. But peer through the veil of prosperity and you'll see no end to the misery and suffering. Madame? Are you all right? What now? You mean to threaten a defenseless citizen? What? What? You saw her buy the meat, you say? That's absurd. Aye, as did I. Leave the poor woman alone, you damnable vulture. Who said that? Grr. I will overlook this, but just this once. God's bless you, adventurer. If you hadn't come along when you did, who knows what that monster might have done. I don't bear thinking about it. All's well that ends well. We meet again. Hello, Thancred. Pray do not mistake my intent, for it is always honorable, but I have been watching you ever since you departed Ul'dah. You played the part of envoy to perfection, confident as a woman on diplomatic mission should be, yet unfailingly courteous to your betters. And when your travels led you into the midst of danger, you faced it without so much as a flinch. You, my lady, are quite a marvel, and I confess to being quite taken with you. Okay. But my lavish praise continues. Most of all, I was struck by your readiness to aid those in need, even when words were all the reward you could expect to receive. Such selfishness is a rare thing in this day and age. All of which leads me to conclude that you are indeed the one whom I have been looking for, an adventurer possessed of a very rare set of qualities. To be sure, your rescue of that damsel in distress was more of a happy accident, but rescue her you did, and that is what matters in the end. I feel I should mention at this point that I also harbor a burning desire and interest in a certain talent of yours. I speak of your visions. You have been experiencing visions, have you not? Well, it just so happens that I know a woman who shares your talent, and can help you understand it. She and I belong to the same organization, and I should both be delighted beyond words if you would agree to join our cause. Naturally, there are benefits to being part of such a collective. For one, we should be glad to assist you in realizing your potential as an adventurer. You need not give me your answer now. Think upon it, and if you feel moved to help us, as I pray you shall, speak with Momody, the ever-lovely and youthful mistress of the quicksand. Tell her the Scions of the Seventh Dawn have found their woman, and she will tell you where to find us. Well, that wasn't mysterious at all. And so, I shall do that, and then that'll be it for this video. After I talk to Momody, that is. We're gonna change to Gladiator first, though. And so, Momody over here, and Momody. Scenes like that are becoming more common, I'm afraid. Don't worry, though. If you work hard, you'll be alright. Saying that, if you ever find yourself in a spot of bother, come and see me. Just don't go pestering me every time you graze your knee, eh? Of course, I do enjoy hearing tell of a gentleman's woes with womenfolk from time to time. Which is the opposite of what she said to us. Momody just likes gossip. Ah, Slayerin, sorry to keep you waiting. I was just providing guidance to a fresh-off-the-carriage adventurer. Ah, it's good to see you safe and well. To look at you, no one would ever guess you've been hard at it with giants in the dark. I never doubted for a moment that you'd succeed, of course, and neither did Papachon, which ain't to say he won't be overjoyed. Oh, before I forget, there's a lass here who wants a word with you. Didn't actually know your name, but hearing your description I knew who she meant right away. So thank you for sparing the time. I realize you don't know me, but I've been longing to speak with you for a while now. My name is Ada. I'm an adventurer like you, though I'm not very good at being one, if truth be told. Anyway, I was adventuring with my friends in Gridania when... I'm sorry, we were in Gridania when the leader of our party was killed. His name was Avery, and he and I were to be wed in the spring. You may not remember him, but to say that he remembered you would be an understatement. He would sing your praises from dawn to dusk. He saw you from what you are, you see, an adventurer's adventurer, and swore that he would be like you one day. I believe that he would have succeeded, had a fiend not robbed him of the chance. Since that day, I have thought long and hard about giving up adventuring. But when I think of the woman you are, of all that you've achieved, I find that I am inspired, just as Avery once was. And so I've decided to start again as an adventurer. I will go back to the village of my birth and begin my training anew. But I wanted to meet you first, to ask you your name. I shan't forget. Thank you. I pray that we will meet again. Fare you well. Adventuring can be a cruel, bleeding business. Time was, I didn't know why anyone would bother. When they first asked me to take charge of the guild here, I didn't want aught to do with you lot. Thought it'd be a right pain in the arse looking after you all. But against my better judgment, I decided to accept the post, and I'm full glad I did. I feel privileged to be part of your lives. And that goes double for yours, Librarian. Eh? What did you say? You want to know about the scions of the 7th Dawn? They're beginning to move in earnest then. Listen, Celebrian, scions ain't no ordinary folk, and they do ain't no ordinary work. I know full well how capable you are, but even you would think twice about attempting some of the stuff they do. Knowing that, if you're still certain you want to get involved, I'll tell you what I can. And we'll... Wait, what do we have equipped? Yeah, we'll go for this one. Even though we probably won't equip anyway. The little pop-ups, there's something free company related. I'm not entirely sure what it is. So we'll talk to Momody. Momody is ready to tell you what she knows about the science of the 7th Dawn. So, you want to know more than do ya? Well, that ain't that a surprise. I swear if I painted certain death on one door and limitless wealth on another, 9 out of 10 adventurers would go through the first, and the other bloke wouldn't be able to choose on account of being Uldon. Anyway, don't say I didn't warn you. First of all, if you're wondering whether you can trust these scions of the 7th Dawn, you can. They're good people who've made it their mission to solve some of Eorzea's most pressing problems. Of course, that ain't no small task, and so they're always looking for dependable individuals to join them. Individuals like you, Celebrian. Now, I've been given leave to tell you where to find the scions, but you must promise to keep this information to yourself. As you can probably imagine, it's something Eorzea's enemies would very much like to know. The scions are headquartered in Vesper Bay, out in western Thanalan. The place you're looking for is called the Wakened Sands. Give your name to whoever's at the entrance, and you'll be let in. You're a woman in demand, Celebrian, and the days ahead promise to be busy, but I hope you won't forget your old friend Momody. Drop in and tell me how you're faring from time to time, you hear? Right, well, I've said my piece. Off you go. And, obviously, we have to go to the Waking Sands in Vesper Bay, which is over here. But we will do that in the next video. So that's it for this one. Thanks for watching.